are you guys doing? Well, my name is Joie Wallace, and I am a stylist here in Hampton, Virginia. And today, I am going to be working side by side with Schwarzkopf Professionals. I'm very excited to be here because I've always been a fan of the product and was just elated when they reached out to me and wanted me to do my texture balayage method. So, give you a little history about me. I've been a hairstylist for 33 years, so I'm a bit of a veteran, and I've been doing balayage and educating for about 20 years. And so I've traveled a lot. I have my own educational platform, and I mostly work on all textures of hair, but primarily on African American textured hair, curly hair. And so as a balayage artist, a lot of times I'm always asked when I'm teaching a class, you know, how do you do balayage on textured hair? And it's very simple. You know, the method that I'm going to show you today is a foolproof method, very easy. We're going to do some different patterns, a V pattern, W pattern, a little weaving, a little teasy at the root, some money pieces, and some baby lights throughout it. And what we're going to be using today is, believe it or not, is Schwarzkopf Professional Clay Lightener. And I've used this several times. I love it. It already has the bond in it. So that's going to be great. We don't have to worry about any damaging to the hair. And with that, we are going to be using Agora 30 volume. So you can either use the Agora Royale 30 volume or you can use the Blonde Me 30 volume. Today, that's what we're going to be using. Now, I've decided that I'm going to do some foliage, and that's because I want to get a little bit more pop during the process. Okay. So let's get started. First, we're going to mix up our solution. And again, I'm using Blonde Me Clay Lightener, which I absolutely love. A lot of people ask me, well, why do you use clay and not regular lightener? Well, the first reason is because it retains the curl pattern. And the majority of my clients that come in, they wear their hair smoothed out, but they like to have the curl pattern. And I like them to keep the curl pattern because I want to make sure that their hair is healthy, and that curl gives them body. So what we're doing now is I've actually kind of scooped out maybe about 2.5 scoops. It's just depending. I like to kind of work in different sections, and of course, you know, some lighteners after a while, you know, it may start to swell a little bit. So right now, I'd say we're somewhere around 3 scoops. I said 2.5, but I did scoop some more in there if you saw me, so don't hold me to it, okay? So now, let's talk about consistency. Matter of choice for me, I kind of like a Greek yogurt consistency. If I'm doing what I call high impact, I will make it a little bit looser. Now this is clay, so you know, clay you want to, you know, you want to have a smoothness. And so you're asking, well, how much are you putting in, Joy? And I couldn't really give you in grams or in ounces. It's just a matter when it comes to clay of getting a nice feel. So what I'm going to do is once I put these gloves on, I'm going to kind of show you how I'm going to whip this up. Now, I particularly don't like using a metal whip. I prefer using a spatula. So that's what I'm going to use today to mix this lightener up. First, we're going to take, and I'm going to do a slight tease right here in the root part. And that's to do a nice blend when it's over with. Just a slight one. And we're going to take our lightener, and we're going to start off in the corners. Nice and smooth. And you want to layer that on. Very good. And I'm starting off with the V pattern. As you can see, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do a straight line, which is going to give me a W. And then I'm going to start in the middle, brushing up and fanning, just to give me a little bit of lift. And for this particular paint, I like to go in and tap the bottom, just slightly like this. Very nice. Now rub that in like I did before. So, reach and grab out amazing little colorful foils from Mar. We got a little bit of everybody today. Okay, brush up to give a nice blend in those. Wipe my hand off. Following the same pattern. Normally when I get a towel, I usually do a damp towel. It really helps with wiping. The great thing about doing balayage with a clay lightener is it's very gentle on the hair. And again, as I stated a little earlier, this is one of the most amazing ones because it already has a built-in bond builder. I don't think there's any clay lightener that has a built-in bond. So that's amazing. Okay. Take that top. Put that over. Lay that there. And I'm going to seal that up. So, and we're going to move over on this side and do the same thing. Same weaving pattern. And this is weaving is always giving you depth. A little slight tease. And paint. Make sure my solution is still nice and whipped up. So stop it right here. Okay, you see what I'm saying? I'm not going towards the root, and I'm not going towards the root because I've already patterned up here. And if I put too much lightener up there, it's actually going to make it look too wide. So that's just a tip for you. And I'm actually going to go down the middle again and do my W. So we're going to turn our girl Corinne, that's her name now. We're going to turn her around a little bit. And I want you to see what I'm going to do here in the front when I do the money piece. One of the more intricate, important parts. So let's see, we're going to bring her around there a little bit, position myself, and what I do is these partings, I open it up and traditionally do a little area out in her front hairline. So we're going to do a traditional baby light weave, just a little weave here. This is my money piece, the infamous money piece. The one that all the girls come in and say, I want a money piece. So, let's get that to hold on there somewhere. So what we're going to do here is, I am going to do just a slight tease. Just slight. And we're going to lay our foil right here on this young lady. And we're going to start our paint in the middle. And the reason why we're starting in the middle so it can hold up a little bit. Right? And we're going to do some heavy saturation here. And we want our money piece to pop. If nothing else don't pop. So I'm going to go diagonal a little bit. And just for blend. Make sure that it's in there. You know, I always tell students that color is trial and error. I'm still learning. I am still learning to this day after all of these years of doing hair. And I enjoy it. And I enjoyed seeing that different students that come to me master, you know, what I've taught them. And then I look up and I'm like, oh my God, did they do that? That looks amazing. I promised to show you this, right? There you are. Okay. Very precision, and if you look real closely, you won't see anything at the bottom. You know, there's nothing underneath. I'm going to show you this area of how this looks, and this is to bring light. That's to bring light. No solution. No solution on there, okay? No solution. So we got that full saturation. You saw that. And then we're going to go back and we're going to top it off with our foils. I did check a little earlier in the back to see how it was processing. So before I finish anything, I'm going to go and show you the process of what's going on here. And these were our foils earlier. They're doing pretty good because remember, we're doing clay. So clay doesn't cool as high. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. Can you guys see that? Can you see that? Okay. Yeah, that's doing good. That's what we like. This is texture hair. Slow, slow and simmer. Like a nice soup or gravy or a pot of beans. You know, I'm a Southern girl. I'm originally from Mississippi. Bet you didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, so we did our 3 teases. And what we're going to do is, we're on our last quadrant also. We're going to go ahead and do our tiny little baby lights that are going to reflect lights onto the dimension. We want the rest of the hair to be heavier. And when I tell you heavier, I like these thinner and this heavier. Okay? So we're going to take our foil and we're going to paint product on here just to give us an easier saturation, right? And voila. So, there we go. So we can show you what's going on, okay? Now, our product of use, of course, was Blonde Me Clay Lightener and 30 volume with the bond already in. So what we did was we did a wide section of foils. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and we did surface, and we did weaving, surface painting in a W. We did these wide from the nape area, okay? Now, we're going to go back and we're going to see what's going on with it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Look at that. And that curl is going to still be intact, okay? And that's what we want. We want it to be nice and slow, just like that. And we're going to leave that like that, and we're going to take this top one, and we're going to see how it's processing. And it's processing wonderfully. Sometimes I can take it out, and I can look at little places like this, and, you know, take, like we do, you know how we do in the salon, and we resaturate, right? We resaturate little areas that didn't come out quite that well. And that's what I'm doing there. I'll close her back up. If I go in there and I see something that doesn't look right, that's what I do. Let her bake a little more. And this is also a little weave area. So I'm going to go back and check this little area too. Right here. And see if I got enough heavy saturation. That's okay. I'm going to put a little bit more back here. Just to saturate it. We got some solution left. I would do the same thing for my client. Again, we started off with wider sections, and then we worked our way into a split, and we did weaving W. Weaving W. Now, if you want more depth, then you're going to do a V. If you want less depth and you want to have panels, like I love blonde panels. So that's how we did here. And I used a nice sharp brush through there. Okay, once we finished the top out and we did the tees, in this area, this is a thin weaving to give a nice shadow. We tease maybe 3 times in the root to come longer, and also to give you a nice shadowing, but not just blank shadow, but have some lights in between there, a blend. Because let's face it, balayage is all about the blend, right? It doesn't matter what head you do it on. All about the blend. And then after we finished that, we did a remix of the color 30 volume and Blonde Me Clay Lightener, and we started on our sides. We did the same pattern here. This is the first one that we started out with. I doubt if it's ready. It's going to be ready though, because I made this a little bit of a heavier saturation, and then I also made it a little thinner, because the thinner your solution is, the more lift you're going to get. But you have to be very careful and very precise about painting. So we're going to let her bake just a little bit. So I'm going to let this oxidize just a few minutes, and I'm going to show you what's going on with it. a little bit closer so you can see those different patterns, the depth in there. Can you see that? Yeah, that did pretty good. So we're about at in the back, we're doing pretty good. We're close to maybe a level 7, kind of give or take a little bit. You might see a little bit of warmth in there, followed by, you know, a little bit of gold. And so we're pretty much in a good area for us to start off at a level 2 and work our way up to 7 with the clay lightener. It looks amazing. We're going to let this sit on the front a little bit longer. The money pieces, let me turn those around. They're not quite ready. That was the first area that I started on. And let's see what's going on with those. Yeah, that's looking pretty good there, right? That's pretty good for a money piece. I like that. Hi guys, so we are back with Corinne. And as you can see, she looks amazing, great tone. I think the lights were very beautiful. I'm feeling like she's about at a level 7. Could be a little more, a little less. Great money pieces, but what's really remarkable is that the curl pattern is intact, and that's what we want. We want a lightener that does that very well, and Schwarzkopf, by them having a great bonder inside, you don't have to worry about the hair losing its elasticity, and keeping the curl pattern is like what we want. We want to keep that curl pattern in the textured hair. So we're going to go ahead and get our formula together and mix up our gloss. So what we're going to be using today is 7-1, which is our medium blonde Cindri blonde, and we're going to use the 724, which is the medium blonde ash beige. It's part of the desert collection. I don't know if you guys seen that. I was amazed with that. It has a little gold in it, and also has neutralizer blue to neutralize the unwanted brass. And then we're going to do 811, which is light blonde Cindri extra. Okay, so we're going to mix this up in a bowl today. And we'll start off with our 7-1. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. So we have that. And we're going to move to our 724 here. Yes. Great. And our 811, 811, all right, so empty that out. We got 3 ounces here. Make sure you get all that. Every bit of it counts, right? Yes, wonderful. And we're going to use the Vibrance 13 volume, 4% to with this particular formula, and 3 ounces of that. And you want to ask, how did I get my formula? Well, I normally come up with a formula once I kind of see where my what level my color is. And so I've been interested in trying the desert colors, and so we're gonna pour this in here. Let's get that together. Colors nice and thick. Yes. All right. Gonna whip this a little bit here. Where I come up with my formulas is, you know, once I see where the lift is, I then create a tone, you know, with a level 2, like Corinne is, and we brought her up to a level 7 in one session with a clay lightener. We want to try to remove some of that warmth out. I don't mind having a little warmth in there, but we want to remove some of it, and then we want to add a nice little golden tone with it too. So there we go, nice and thick and creamy. All right. So when I'm toning, I always like to start on the ends of the hair, which usually don't apply as much. It doesn't have as much heat, so the lift is a little off. So if I start toning in those areas first, then it will start bumping up the base a little bit better. So I'm going to go around here to each side, put a toner in there, and then we're going to work our way throughout combing. Hey guys, so listen, we finished Corinne. We hydrated her and conditioned her, and now we are diffusing her to give her some volume. Beautiful tone. We are back. And as you can see, we are building up some texture here because 2020 and 21 is all about big hair texture, don't care, right? Yes, honey. Build it up, build it up. So now that we've gotten some of our volume in here, I'm gonna go through here and just kind of catch my roots a little bit, just to blend in. That was a cool diffuse. I started off warm and then I worked my way in. Yeah, a little shaping there, a little point cut. So I want some volume. I want a little layer effect, slightly shagged out. A little love to come in. And we're just going in here and just softly shaping the curls because she told me that she wanted to be on trend. She wanted a nice shaggy look. With some volume and some texture and those beautiful lights. Yeah. Bigger the better, right? Look at that gorgeous tone. So, voila! We are finished. I am nice and shiny, but I have definitely enjoyed myself. I'm gonna bring her a little bit closer so you can see all of this. We gave her a nice little shaggy look today with a bang. She has face framing balayage, and we went through her. I think this is a beautiful tone. And love the texture, love everything about it. Let me know what you think. Thank you, Corinne. You've been wonderful today. And you guys have been wonderful. I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. My name is Joie Wallace, and I am Joie Wallace Hair on Instagram. I'm Joie Wallace everywhere else. You can call me Joie if you're French. Nevertheless, I'm out of Hampton, Virginia, and I have teamed with Schwarzkopf and Cynthia Lumsley and Lynn Fun, Be Seen, and I thank them both for inviting me and Schwarzkopf for inviting me, and I hope you enjoyed this because every time I do anything that has to do with education, I put 100% in it. So God bless you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.